Hello and welcome to Yoga with Shari at another gorgeous sunrise right here on the east coast of South Florida on the beach. Beautiful ocean behind me. Thank you, Mother Nature, for this gorgeous gift again. Today we're going to do a shortish flow all about hips. The hips are the home to so much of our stress and trauma, grief, sadness. We hold a lot of emotion in our hips. And as we open them up physically, we also open them up energetically, releasing those stuck energies that have been there maybe for years. So join me today. We'll get into those hips. We'll get a little loosey-goosey and make it feel really good. We all need this one. Let's get started. So I usually, often, start us in a comfortable seated position with crossed legs. But today, since we're talking about the hips, you can either start like this, or if it's comfortable enough for you to get into it from the beginning, we can start in like a butterfly position. So our knees are wide, our feet are together. Our feet can be as close to or far away from the body as we need them to be. We want the blade edges of the feet touching and the tops of the feet opening. And then we want to ground down through both of those sits bones, finding that nice long spine. And your hands can rest on your ankles or your lap or your knees. And taking a couple of moments to arrive. I'd like you to either close your eyes or lower your gaze so that it's easier to tune in to yourself, to your body. Begin by noticing your breath without changing it at first, just noticing its natural rhythm, the texture that it has today, if it feels thick or thin, heavy or light. Noticing the natural rise and fall of the chest or belly. And then noticing the pace of your thoughts in this moment. If they're buzzing around or a little slow. If they feel heavy or light. Just noticing. Without taking the time right now to attach to them. Just being aware of thoughts are happening. And from here, we'll bring both hands to the belly. Take a long, slow inhale, allowing the belly to fill up. Exhale, slowly release, contracting the belly. Again, like that inhale, fill the belly like a balloon. Exhale, slowly let it go. Again, inhale, fill up. Exhale, let it go. This time, inhale, fill the belly, and then fill up into the chest as well. Exhale, release chest, belly. One more time, inhale, fill belly, fill chest. Fill all the way up to the tippy top, sipping in as much air as you can possibly fit inside. And then really slowly let it whisper out. And allow your breath to return to a natural rhythm. And you can either keep your eyes closed or gently blink them open as we continue the practice with some movement. So first, take those knees outside, the hands outside the knees, and help them up a little. You might feel a little something there. So maybe a little wiggle side to side just to release. We were in that posture for a while. And bring both legs straight. And from here, we're going to bring the right foot inside of the left leg, right knee opening out to the right. Let's turn a little bit more to the side now. And as you come into this posture, find a nice tall spine, grounding down through those sits bones again. Inhale, reach the arms long, and then exhale, begin to fold forward over the left leg. And as you fold over that left leg, you can have a gentle bend in the left knee. And you're thinking about reaching the crown of the head toward the toes so that we're finding length in the spine even as we're folding in, getting that hamstring stretch. And notice if you can soften that right hip or knee at all. The right leg should just be allowed to continue falling open with no force. And take a long, slow inhale right here. And a really slow exhale. One more like that, maybe folding in just a little bit more on the exhale. Gently bring it back up. And from here, we're going to bring that right knee up, right foot across the left thigh. And as we sit up tall, the left arm will hug that knee in, right arm reaches long. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right, right hand coming behind you, gazing over that right shoulder. With each inhale, you'll sit up a little bit taller. And with each exhale, you'll find a little more twist. Another breath just like that. Inhale. And exhale. And then keeping everything exactly where it is, turn only your head the opposite way. Gazing over the left shoulder, maybe bringing the chin down a little. Keeping the twist through the middle. One breath here. And then as you unwind, bring both hands across the body to the left side. Bow in for a counter posture, releasing the right side. Then come back to the center. We'll switch legs. Right leg is long, left foot inside the right thigh. Inhale, sits up tall. Exhale, fold. Same thing here. We're softening through that left hip and left knee. Reaching the crown of the head toward the toes. Long inhale. Slow exhale. Really think about keeping those exhales even slower than the inhales. It brings regulation to our nervous system. As you come back upright. Left hand outside of that left knee brings it up. Left foot across the right leg. Sit up tall as you hug that knee in. Arm reaches. Inhale. Exhale, twist. With each inhale, your spine gets a little longer. And with each exhale, you find a little more space. One more. Then turn only your head the opposite way. Double helix. Then unwind. Both hands come across the body. Bow in. Come back up the center. Release that foot. Let that go. From here, we're going to make our way into a child's pose. So coming over first at tabletop, we'll bring those knees wider than hip width apart. Big toes come to touch. Then sinking the hips back toward the heels. And then we'll begin to bring the torso toward the mat. Maybe coming to forearms, or if you have the space available, maybe the forehead comes down. Finding some heaviness and softness in this posture. Letting this feel really good on your body. Big inhale. Slow exhale. With each breath, those hips get heavier and heavier toward the heels. Walking both hands forward, activating the arms, pressing those hips back, press into the palms. From here, we'll walk the hands toward the right side of the mat, bringing the left ear down, melting down through that left side body. And then wrap that right arm around the back. See how that feels. Maybe finding that left hip crease, opening up that right shoulder. Big inhale. Slow exhale. One more. Unwind. Walk through center. Come across to the left side. Right ear comes down. Melting down through that right side. Left arm comes around the back. Big inhale. Slow exhale. Unwind, come back to center. Press back one more time for one breath. From here, make your way up the tabletop, hands and knees. Bringing the knees under the hips. We're just going to make our way straight into a downward facing dog. So lifting the hips up and back. It's beautiful to have a gentle bend in your knees, especially for the first dog of the day. Continue pressing into the palms, seeing if you can take the crease out of the wrists. It'll actually take some pressure off the wrists and bring the hips a little further back. And then from here, we're going to paddle out the feet, bend the right knee a lot, press back through the left heel. And then bend the left knee a lot and press back through the right. And switch. And switch. And then come back to center. Come high on both sets of toes. Continue pressing into the palms. And then bend both knees a lot. Press your chest and belly back toward your thighs. Turbo dog. Hips are high. Heels are high. Take a big inhale right here. Exhale. Sink the hips. Straighten the legs. From here, right toes will reach up to the sky, opening that right hip. Option here to circle the ankle or bend the knee and circle the hip. One way and then the other. And then reach those toes super high to the sky. Again, come high on the bottom set of toes. From here, you're going to step that right foot outside of the right hand. And we'll lower that back knee down, finding a lizard lunge. Sinking into that right hip. And if you have the space available, maybe you can come to forearms. And if you don't have the space available, then you don't. And wherever you are, take a long, slow inhale, sending breath to that right hip. Exhale, allow that space to soften and open. One more like that. From here, if you're down on the forearms, come back up on the hands. We're going to go for a quad stretch. So you're going to keep that left hand down and push the right hand back for the left foot. So bending that left knee, grabbing the inside of the left foot, squeezing it toward the glute. And then maybe opening that right foot onto the blade edge, opening that right knee out to the right, gazing over that shoulder in the back, squeezing that foot in. Big inhale. Slow exhale. Release the foot, bring the right hand back around, bring that right foot flat. We're going to shift back for a hamstring stretch. So bringing the hips over the left knee, straightening that right leg, folding in for just one breath. And for the next breath, you can either stay right here Or option to walk your hands around to the right side if you'd like a little more sensation. Or if you have the space available, maybe finding your full split. But doing what works for you today, which might not be the same as yesterday. One full breath. Slow and steady. And then coming out maybe a little more graceful if you're still in half split. I have not figured out a graceful way to get out of a full split. But maybe bringing the hands inside that leg and just swinging that right knee around. And then we'll just come back to tabletop and find down dog again. And we'll prepare to do the same on the left side. So starting with those left toes, reaching toward the sky and down dog. Opening the left hip, maybe circling that ankle or bending the knee and circling the hip. One way and then the other. And then reaching those toes super high to the sky. Come high on the bottom set of toes. Inhale, footsteps outside the left hand. Back knee comes down. Sink into that left hip. And then maybe come to forearms. Left and right side are rarely the same in flexibility and strength. But still, if you tried coming to forearms on the other side, I'd like you to at least try it on this side and just explore and see. In yoga, we really try to do everything the same on left and right side. Our feminine and masculine. Finding that balance. If you're on the forearms, coming up onto the hands, that right hand stays down. Reaching that left hand back, coming on the blade edge of that left foot, and then left hand grabbing the right foot and squeezing it in. And I notice on this side, I'm not as flexible. Just noticing. Big inhale. Slow exhale. Gently release that foot down. Bring the hand back around, bring the foot flat, and we'll shift back for that half split. So you're straightening the left leg, bringing the hips over the right knee, and then folding in. One full breath here. In and out through the nose. And then either staying here, walking your hands around toward the left, or option to come into that full split. One big slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. And then gently coming out of whatever posture you're in right now. Back to tabletop for now. From here, we'll tuck the toes under, find downward dog. And from here, we're just going to walk the feet to the top of the mat, finding a forward fold. Letting your head and arms hang heavy. Maybe a little sway side to side, letting go of all that hamstring opening. And then pausing at the center, shifting a little weight toward the middle of the feet. Engage your core. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Nice long spine, heart shining forward. And then next inhale, reverse swan dive, bring it all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do that again with just the arms. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale to the heart. One more time like that. Inhale, reach the fingertips wide. Exhale to the heart. And from here, we'll step big toes to touch. We'll prepare for a chair pose. So deep bend in both knees, sweep the arms down and up. Sit back in that chair. Reaching the biceps by the ears to start. Maybe shifting a little weight towards your heels. And then we'll come into a half chair, bringing the torso parallel to the mat, reaching the fingertips forward, reaching the hips back. And then sweeping your hands behind you. And from here, we're going to clasp hands behind you, pulling the shoulder blades toward each other. And I know your thighs are talking to you. Mine are too. It's okay. Burning just means we're alive. Really pull those shoulders toward each other. Open across the heart space. Take a big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. And then let the hands come away from the back any amount. Maybe they can pull a little further with each breath. Opening up the shoulder in the front. One more full breath like this. Let the head hang heavy. Shake a little yes. Shake a little no. Then release the arms down. From here, we'll step the feet a little wider than hip width apart. Bend both knees a lot, so much that your chest and belly come toward your thighs. Then take your peace sign fingers and thumbs and hook the big toes. From here, we're going to shift some weight into those toes so we can use the leverage of the toes on the fingers and begin to straighten the legs any amount. And as you pull the crown of the head toward the ground, you can open the elbows to the left and right, getting deep into those hamstrings. Take a long, slow inhale, releasing tension from your neck. And a really slow exhale, maybe finding just a millimeter more of space. One more like that. Then gently bend the knees a little bit, release the fingers, find a little sway side to side. And from here, we're going to point both sets of toes to face out, maybe widen the stance a little. And with your fingertips on the ground, just begin to lower your hips down to a squat. Something crazy happened here. Okay. And as you come into this squat, you can bring hands to heart center. You can have your feet as wide as you need them to be. Toes pointing in or out as much as you need. And we're working that back straight. It's really hard to get that tall, straight spine. Especially if you're in the sand maybe, but we're bringing hands to heart center. And then I like to use my elbows to get those knees open a little bit more. And I know it's a lot of sensation. But from here, let's bring the left fingertips outside of that left foot, right arm up. Option to wrap that right arm around the back. And you can either stay right here or play with a full bind. And if you can get into that full bind, if that's available today, maybe you want to try to float yourself here. It's a modified bird of paradise. You come on those left toes and then step that right foot a little closer. And then maybe see if you can begin to stand up, bringing that left knee with you. It's extra challenging on this hand. I'm going to give that another try. I'm sinking. And then maybe with some grace, we can bring it all the way down. Come back into that squat. And we can try the other side, which I can tell you already is not going to go as well for me. Right fingertips outside right foot, left arm comes up. Option for half bind or full bind. Coming on the right toes if you're in the bind. Let me find my good spot of sand. This will be fun to watch. When you're ready, maybe come up. Hey, what do you know? Kinda got it. Falling out is part of the process. All right, then from that squat, bring fingertips down, slowly straighten the legs. Let that go. That was a lot, I know. Inhale brings it all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Since we got ourselves nice and open, we might as well try another fun pose. So starting in a warrior two, with the left foot forward, right foot back. Come in an extended side angle. And then maybe finding the bind here. Try straightening that left leg, getting a little more in the hamstrings. This one requires a little more of that spiraling your rib cage to the sky. Then gaze down at your left big toe and step that right foot in closer. Find the spot where you're sinking the best, if you're in the sand like me. And then maybe beginning to stand up. I said maybe. We'll try again. There's always time to try again. And then maybe straightening the leg. Any amount. And bring that down. Come to a wide leg fold. Let that go. Couple breaths here before we come into the other side. Sometimes we try things and they work right away, easily. Sometimes we try and it just doesn't happen. But notice where your thoughts go. Do you have a tendency to get frustrated with yourself when things don't work the way you want them to? Or do you get playful with it, laugh it off? Do you explore and look for the lessons, what you can learn from the things that didn't work? There's no right or wrong answer here, but it's interesting to notice your common thought patterns. Because the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So how we react on the yoga mat in challenges is probably how we react to every challenge in life. Let's come to a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Core engagement, hands to the hips, bring it up, flat back. We'll just make our way into warrior two on the other side. And from this warrior two, we'll find that extended side angle. And then finding the half bind or full bind. If you're in the full bind, you can straighten that right leg, open up. I can see already that I'm less open on this side, but I'm still going to give the floating a try, the bird of paradise. So gazing down at that right big toe. I'll step that left foot in closer. I did not do that gracefully. Finding a spot of stability where you can really stand in that left foot. And then maybe bringing it up. And maybe straighten the leg. Sometimes it works. And sometimes it doesn't. Let's all join it seated. And turn myself around. Since we're nice and open through those hips and hamstrings, we'll find a little fun boat pose today. So bringing your feet together, like butterfly pose again. Taking those peace sign fingers and thumbs, hooking the big toes. Floating back into a boat style pose. And then opening one or both legs. I seem to have found a lumpy spot of ground. Keep lifting through the chest, lifting through the heart. One slow breath. Then release it all down, let it go. Bring it back up to seated. Let's meet in that comfortable cross-legged seat position. Finding some length in the spine. Hands on your knees or lap. From here, we'll find a few cat-cow postures as a cool down. So hands on the knees now. As you inhale, bring the chest forward. And then as you exhale, find a rounded spine, chin to the chest. Lean back. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, bring it back. I'm making some pretty big motions here. You can do big or small. Whatever feels good on your spine and neck. And then from here, I want you to think about making some circles with your body. So we're still opening the chest as we come forward. Inhale. But come around. And then into that curved spine. Exhale. Make it beautiful and fluid. Let it feel really good. Big or small circles. And then pause, switch direction. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you come back. And then bring it back to center. Let it go. Tall spine, pick the head up. Right hand to your belly, left hand to your heart. Pausing here. As I said in the beginning, when we open up our bodies physically, particularly our hips, we also open up energetically. So any space we've created is space now. And we get to choose what we fill it up with. So what are some loving and encouraging thoughts that you can send to yourself right now? Only positive affirmation. I am loving. I am kind. I am beautiful. I am capable. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. I am perfect just as I am. I am lovable. Take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. Next inhale, arms come up, hands meet at the top. And bring them straight down in front of your forehead. May my thoughts be peaceful and loving. And bring them just in front of your lips. May my words be peaceful and loving. Hands to heart center. May I feel peace and love in my heart. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you.